Hi guys, I'm ExactChaos and welcome back to another episode of Workers and Resources Soviet Republic. This is the rise of Cornoe with all the distribution issues. I'm happy to report that our money has stabled up a little bit. I was worried as the episode started. Anyway, we have built the third distribution facility here. So we've got to call this atomic supply distribution 3. Fine, let's just do this. Atomic supply distribution number 3. Okay, so what are we doing with this one? This one is supposed to relieve all the issues we have over here. So what we did with the Novograd imports, right? We've got all of these guys that was kind of importing stuff. So let's just go through them one by one. So Lesser Warehouse 3 is only storing electronic components and mechanical components. So let's just get a bit of a look. Lesser Warehouse or Lesser Warehouse? Hello? Lesser Warehouse 3. Let's find it. It should be. Oh, it's not in here. So who is supporting Lesser Warehouse? Atomic Supply Distribution 2. Okay. So we don't need to pick up this one. This one is already dealt with. Okay. So let's have a quick look. What else do we have over here in terms of distribution? Can we just please stop the noise there? Okay. Okay, so we have this one here. That one is sorted. Then if we move over here, this distribution office is kind of moving things around over here. Okay, so let's have a look. So this guy here, Vasestavi Industrial Warehouse and Vasestavi Rail Production. So let's just say Vasestavi Vehicle Production Warehouse. Vehicle production warehouse. Okay, let's call it that. So at least we know that. So this guy, if we look at Vasestavi vehicle production, right, we're actually saying everything is imported from the border. And if we look at this guy and just double checking, Novograd border imports, Cornoe goods distribution, Vasestavi Industrial Medium Distribution Office. Okay, yeah, that's the one that's bringing these goods. So it's this one, basically. Vasestavi Industrial Medium Distribution. So let's just have a look. So this one is grabbing from there and grabbing from here and doing that stuff, right? And it's also going to this spot. Okay, so this one should be renamed. Like, let's just rename this one to Vasestavi Recycled Goods Distribution. Let's just do that, right? Vasestavi Recycled Goods Distribution. Okay, so we'll leave it there so at least we can kind of identify it. So if we go back to this guy and just have a look. So who's doing what? So potentially Cornoe Hills Goods Distribution could be providing it with some stuff. But I will ignore that one in case it's too small anyway. And then mechanical components will come in. So anyway, so what we need to do is we need to say, buddies, you need to please go and pick up over here. Okay. Basically, this is your pickup location, right? So you're going to load over there. And then what you're going to do is you're going to come in over here and you're going to drop off there, unload. And we want you nice and big numbers. We're going to send you over here to unload as well. Again, with the reasonably large sized numbers. Now, what I will do, because, yeah, this is not quite there yet, I will quickly procure a couple of vehicles. We are on pause, so let's procure 2 vehicles, and then presumably that will do the thing, right? So if we go back in here and we say, so this guy is picking up on fabric, electronic components, and plastics, and then mechanical components. But so let's quickly pop back into this one and just have a look what is available in here. What is available in here? So we do have mechanical components directly in there. So presumably you guys don't really need to be distributing everywhere, right? You go to Sith Industrial Goods. So we really don't need you to be going to a lot of the other spots, right? But for the time being, I may as well add it over there, right? So you'll just bring in whatever you can for those locations. Similarly for the other one. So I guess that should be okay. So immediately these guys should start moving if there are goods available, right? So let's quickly just give it a bit of a run. Yeah, there they go. They're starting to maneuver. Now, I don't worry about this too much, but let's quickly have a look. So this guy is on the way back. Did I not have sufficient kind of stuff in here? Yeah, I guess this whole thing is one big loop. So it doesn't really matter as long as you all keep going. That's okay. Now, one thing that I did want to actually stop, I just wanted to make sure that Novigrad imports is not actually happening. Right, so if I go back over here, right, Novigrad border imports associated with Vasastavi vehicle production, the 2 at the end, I think, Vasastavi. So really, I don't want you to be unloading stuff over here, right? So let's just stop these for the time being, right? So we'll just say stop doing those. We should now be able to sort them out by ourselves using the other items. And so hopefully that will get us there. We are actively doing a few more vehicles, which we will move into the right place. We don't have a train ready to go, and it'll be some time. So we really don't have a buffer to fall back on. What is costing us all this money? We had a vehicle export that was reasonable. And then we have import, which we just did. But yeah, we still have so much stuff that's coming in. So this month, if we look at the imports of resources, please. Again with the damn electronics. It makes me so frustrated. So frustrated. Where are you from? Yeah, cycle goods. That's all good. Cycle goods is all good. Okay. Let's give it a minute. Okay. The plan is that we should see a few of these vehicles pop out over here. We may have to run the train and sell some stuff. Oh, what happened? What just happened? Let's just have a look. I think it must be the ship. But if we look at vehicles export, how do I can't. That one I can. This one I can't. I am pretty sure it's the ship, but the ship should be more than that, right? It should be more than 2 million. Yeah, this new one has just started. So yeah, it's definitely the ship, but I guess I can't see. Can I really not check it? Vehicles exported, vehicles imported. That's an interesting one. Interesting. So I can't drill down over here to understand it. That is interesting. Okay, well, all good. The outcome is the same. We've got the money. Oh, look at this guy. Looks like a bit of a Christmas tree. I do like it. I do like it. Hopefully, we are cultural enjoyment all around is what is happening over here. Let's make sure we get a little bit of government loyalty in terms of working here at least. And we would like a little bit of Soviet propaganda, right? Just a little bit, just a tad. We'll give a little bit of a tad of Soviet propaganda, right? That'll be quite useful. Over here, we'll do a similar thing. Oh, it's actually is generating a little bit. Let's just do a tad of Soviet propaganda in there, right? It's just to make sure people are nice and productive. Okay, over here we should be finishing off these. Okay, so this is we've already got people moved in here and there. And all of this stuff has got what they need. No, they do not. I guess it should be okay now, but for some reason, okay, we don't have a. Sky is fully loaded at the moment, right? Only got the big vehicles here. So I'm kind of wondering, do we try and do a smaller vehicle? I'm kind of thinking maybe we add an extra technical services stop somewhere. Okay, so let's do that. Let's get the construction going for an extra technical services option. Yeah, maybe in here, right? This should be fine. Okay, so let's clear out some of this stuff. And what we'll do is at the same time we'll build a technical services station here. Technical services. I'm looking for something cheap and cheerful, really. 4 vehicles, not too pricey, right? That's the kind of thing that would be useful. Though, kind of wondering. Oh, we don't. This site here is by no means powered. So technical services it is. We're not doing anything but technical services. Where can I? How can I squeeze it in? Let's switch on F2. Yeah, this does not really want to play ball here. Yeah, that doesn't want to work. That would have been a great little spot for it. But I guess here would be fine also, right? Let's do that. Get ourselves a bit of a road section in there. I'll pay for the road. It's because it's not too pricey. And then what I'll do is I'll get whoever I can to come and build. Oh, look at that. Look at the money. Oh, something else major has been exported from a vehicle perspective as well. I guess I don't know what. Is there a train still running? Oh, maybe there's a train still running. Okay, let me have a look at that. Anyway, let's just set this up for construction. Finish off and then get here. So we'll get another technical services going. Let's quickly find that train. I think there should be a train running. Yeah, here it is. This is the one. And this one effectively has nothing to do. So just go back to, so that was it. So there was a ship that went out and a train that went out for export. So I guess now we're in a pretty good spot. Finish off this vehicle. I guess this vehicle may be replaced, but before we do that, let's just move it out to this spot over here so that we continue to do a little bit of this. I'm hoping these guys are working at a reasonable pace, and I am hoping that we are not out of coal. As quickly as the coal comes in, then we move it out to wherever we need it. Yeah, so here they're trying to fill it up, but yeah, we're doing what we can. Anyway, it is getting there, and so hopefully all of these items will continue to fill up, and we're not import any more of this stuff. These guys aren't moving. I do wonder whether they may be in poor shape. Wear and tear 44, 38. Doesn't look too bad. Okay, so this should all be underway now, vehicles and the likes. Okay, good stuff. These are so close to being done. Kind of contemplating adding some more to the mix here. But the idea is really that we need to have a look. So this guy should be filling up, right? In terms of electronic components. And electronics actually. We're doing both of those. So electronic components may get a bit of a dip, but then electronics should be filling up. We want to see electronics filled up, right? But at the moment, we've got so few workers here, and then over here we should see electronics holding up pretty well. Now, the big question mark remains as to how is the most appropriate way for us to export these items. And sometimes I do wonder if it's something like a helicopter to do it, that can just go straight back and forth, but they don't really move a lot. Vehicles themselves will be too slow. And as it stands, we can only really do, we can only really, but I guess as soon as we pick up here, so we could run an export from here, right? We could run a train that does an export from there. We can do that. It's not an issue. Okay, so these buildings are really close. So let's just wait for these buildings to finish, and then we'll start planning out the next batch of them. Money is holding pretty nicely. And let's go. Oh, this is something that's under construction. I'll have to get a little bit more Soviet propaganda in there. That's okay. Let's do that. And then let's see. So, what is the progress over here? Who's working on it? The Potomac East Maintenance Office and Susselgrad Maintenance Office are both working on it. So presumably, they will get it done. But do we have vehicles out here? Yeah, we do. We actually do have vehicles out here. So that should be all good. Let's double check this stuff. No, it is holding. It is holding because I am worried that it's not quite dissipating. But this is all ash, right? Some biological waste in there as well, but it's ash really. So in reality, it should be moving, right? So let's have a quick look. 26.36. Yeah, it is dropping. It is dropping. Yeah, it's just slow. Yeah, it is dropping. It is dropping. So as long as we have enough places to store, that should be fine. Is this under construction? This is not under construction. So let's make sure to send lesser construction officers to come and do this. And we could also get the helicopters out here. So let's just finish off this road so that we kind of finish off some of these roads that's it's kind of just hanging out there a little bit. Okay. So that's a good stuff. 7 million rubles. That's a very healthy position to be in. Excellent. We've built some more of these. So let's move them into the right spots here. No, not over there, over here. I want to add more there so that this local distribution does a little bit better. Again, over here, please. Okay. So hopefully that is going to help us out a little bit more. Are these holding? Yeah, there are reasonable amounts of things in here, but it's not great. Just see. So what's happening with the distribution over here? No electronic components. And this guy is working without issues. So what does this guy actually take? Yeah, so we don't have nearly enough. So what we may as well do is we may as well at least drop the workforce here a little bit because yeah, we're not. This guy can go full steam. So at least more of those workers can end up over there. Let's just see where can we get to from over there, those buildings, and if we look at this one, it has access to more buildings. So do we try and... Yeah, let's try and run an extra little path through here. So if I were to do, say... Run it through there. Right, and what I'll do is I'll go ahead and pay for that, and then hopefully we've got access to some more workforces. Okay, what we may do, we may also come across over here, pay for that one, and then test it again. Still not quite giving us all the workers we need. But hopefully now we're missing steel over here. You see, I guess this warehouse should have steel in it. Oh no, that's electronic components. Oh, electronic components goes both ways, and then I'm guessing we're having steel brought in here, right? So if we go, directly to the Atomic East Electric Components. Yeah, steel and okay, so stuff is supposed to be delivered over here. We just don't have many of the open hull trucks that could potentially do that. We really are struggling for distribution from this spot. This spot is just way too busy. Way too busy. Okay, let's quickly pop up over here and see. So we actually moved some vehicles over here, right? So we are ready to start planning out our nuclear mines, okay? Nuclear or uranium mines, if you will. Okay, so let's go into advanced industry for a little bit. Go to... Rain is waiting too long. I'm going to ignore that one because it's not something that's of major concern to us. Okay, so if we have a look at advanced industry uranium mine. Oh, there it is. It's up there. Okay, and that's got a pretty healthy piece. But now it's the middle of the night, so let's pause it there. Well, let's get rid of that. Go back over here to the Canal District and just have a look that these are done. Done, and everybody's moved in, and hopefully this gets a nice load of workers. And then hopefully we're going to start seeing more of this. Yeah, that is looking a lot healthier. Okay, beautiful. So the next round, so if we grab an extra round of these buildings, what are you potentially missing out on? Nothing really, because we've got everything we need over here, and these are still quite well situated. I guess we may need some sporting facilities, public theater. Yeah, so let's get some sporting facilities at least, and then we'll continue to build. So some sporting facilities. So maybe something reasonably small. That's too big. That's not too bad. Maybe we just go sports hall. Anything a little bit smaller, a school gym maybe. We squeeze it in over here. We can. Does look a little bit out of place there. Who's this guy? This is a smaller gym, right? Is this a school gym? A school gym. I don't like the idea that it's all called school gyms, right? Why a school gym? A bowling alley. Yeah, let's do a bowling alley. And the bowling alley will fit really nicely right over here. So the bowling alley can go in there. We will give the bowling alley a bit of a pathway on that side. I guess what we might do is we may run this guy. Let's make a start there, and then We'll bring it back this way to give us a little bit more room. We'll pay for those 2 items. And we'll get the bowling alley access and we'll try that in over there. So I guess what I'm planning is now here we can add a few more buildings yet again. So let's go back into the construction industry. We'll grab this guy. Can we... no water? Oh, yeah, no, it does have water. So let's do this one over here. I think that's going to be fine. And what we'll do is we'll grab that one. And this time around, we may squeeze it in. Oh, actually, no. We're going to squeeze it in like this. Facilitate some access. Actually, we could do one here, and then we could flip it around and do... Can we do another? Actually, let's flip it around and do yet another one. Well, what we can do is we can get rid of that path, right? So we'll get rid of that path. We will go ahead and do the copy thing over here, and we will tie this one in like so. I guess that's okay. And we can do some trees and stuff around here. Did we want to try and squeeze in another one? Oh, we can actually. And we can squeeze in one like this. So let's clear that one out. We'll do this, right? And then, oh yeah, there straight away. Let's get them nice and tight over there, right? Let's do that. So I guess that gives us a lot more buildings to go in over here. Okay, so let's just give them all access points, and we will be paying for these access points. Our money is nice and reasonable. Now, here, I'm thinking we need to do this. Do that, and then this guy will kind of tie in over here, and we'll also do that. And hopefully that means everybody is kind of going to get access to it, right? So garbage access to all the buildings but this one. So if we look at this guy, where can it get its garbage access? We don't currently know. So this guy may still have serious issues with regards to garbage accessibility, meaning that we might just need to add another, right? So let's just plan for another one nice and central off of this road here. Will be actually quite a good spot for us, right? So what is this? 156 versus... Yeah, so that 156 is fine. We're going to go and grab ourselves a road access right over there. And we will connect some pathways and the likes over here. So let me pay for that little slither. And what we'll do is we'll get everybody to start construction on these items here. And we'll get those to start building. Now, let's quickly try and look over here. And before it gets too dark, we'll start to have a look a little bit. So this is seeing some workers, but honestly, not the kind of numbers that I would like to see. These are quite healthy numbers here. I'm kind of starting to think we may be looking at a little bit of an export situation there soon. Okay. I'm going to pause it for a second while it's light. I just want to quickly start a little bit of a plan out in this area around our nuclear facilities here. So the uranium mine. So let's have a quick look. So if I grab another uranium mine, we've got one over there. It means that we won't be... we could be wanting to do one over here, but they're so far apart. What is this? Oh, that's so bad. That is so bad. How many workers in a uranium mine? 100. Yeah, it's so close to that one. But I guess we could plan for extending over here. But maybe all we need to do is just make a start with one. Okay, so let's have a look. Where is our road connection? So if I did this, right? So what I want to do is I want to do a little bit of a slither of road there, and I want to do this. Ooh. Okay, that's okay. And then what I want to do is down here. Okay, so at least that kind of gives us a road up to those mines. Now, what it doesn't do is it doesn't allow us to necessarily do this. It does. So I guess that gives us the option to go out that in that general direction. So let's have a quick look. So we will need to be bringing in workers from somewhere, and my thought process was that it would need to come in from Vasistavi. Vasistavi has got a little bit of an issue in the fact that our rail is all the way back there. And I don't really think we're in a good position to be running out other stuff here because we still want to maintain some level of navigability in here. So the only other potential option we could think of as maybe a tunnel, or alternatively, well, that road is just stopped. Alternatively, we could have a look at bringing in another road connection somewhere over here. We've got enough room to build up to it and then cut across over here, also providing some level of access from that side. So we can definitely do another road connection over here, in which case we could run buses to this area. But it does make me wonder whether we expand instead another city over here. In which case, a bridge connection through here would not be a bad idea anyway. So I guess that's part of the plan, right? So the next step, let's have a look. So once we've gone the uranium mine side of things, then the next step is the processing plant, which is another like 75 people. And it processes around 36 tons of ore per day to give you uranium oxide. And then from there, we can do UF6. This process doesn't need anything. This process, however, will need chemicals, which we can get, not a problem. And then this process will need chemicals again, and they're pretty power hungry. Nuclear fuel fabrication. This is the end of us needing money, right? Once we've got this. So let's see, 1.7 tons of uranium oxide. This one needs 2 tons of uranium oxide. So it's probably about a 1-to-1 ratio for these guys. So initially what I will do, okay, hang on. And that gives us almost 1 ton of UF6. And this then we need 2 of these for nuclear fuel fabrication. Okay, so let's start a few things, right? So what we need to do here is we need a train platform whereby we can actually drop off some workers, right? So let's just get, I was thinking maybe just something small is going to be just fine. And I don't want it to be too far though, right? if we were to kind of say over there, right? We did the train station over there. I just want to see. So let's have a quick look. So grab ourselves. It's not great. I might want to do another one. So if we go there and there, right? I just want to see. So what is this distance? What is this distance? So we don't know. Can I pick this path? Nobody. Let's cancel the paths. Okay, fine. Ooh, I didn't want to do that. Anyway, let's try that again. I just want to see. So what is the distance here? 560 meters is not gonna be what we need. Okay. So if we were to go underground instead, and we said we'll do this, that's 390. So if we did want to do this up here, I think we'd be okay. But in order to avoid any further painful problems with this, what I will do is I will cancel this one. I will level things out here just a little bit more. Okay. So let's level the terrain from the center, right? The idea is just to push back. Let's just dig out that a little bit. Let's play it a little bit. It goes a little bit quicker if it's not paused. Let's do a little bit of this. I don't want to be causing kind of havoc. Okay, pause it again, and now let's level it again from the center. Bigger crews out here to be able to really do this at scale, but we don't necessarily want to do it at scale. We just want to make sure that our walking distances to our train platform is reasonable. So I've kind of pushed that a little bit closer. Now let's just put the road back in here so we don't properly lose it. So if we go straight line through there, kind of up there and up there. Go down here, there. Okay, and so that's kind of the idea with the road, and we can still tie an extra road over there. Now back to the rail platforms. Now I don't want to do that platform. That one's too short. I'm going to try and not do them on the outside, right? So this one again will be on the outside. This one again will be on the outside. Then we do have a one platform. That's a massively long one platform, isn't it? The medium one potentially is okay. So that one, if we did want to kind of squeeze it in here, but I guess a one platform is a dangerous thing. It's just so much easier to just do a two platform. Then we'll have to tunnel it. What other options do we have? We can do this guy. Okay, or something else maybe. Something like maybe this guy. Oh, that seems a little bit big. They all seem a little bit big, actually. We will ultimately probably need to tunnel it anyway. Make that work. So I may as well go and grab this guy here. No, that's just, it's too much. Right? Standard. Is that standard? Standard. So maybe standard is the one. Yeah. I guess standard is the one. I mean, even our current train sets are this size, right? So if I do this, we'll already have one underneath there. So the plan is we'll do something like this. Okay. And then we'll tie that in. And so let me quickly just have a look at the tunnel section one more time. So if we were to grab the tunnel section, go underground. And if we were to do this and go up to over here somewhere, yeah, I think this will get us able to get people there and there. Okay, so we will be able to do that. So I guess that should be okay. So what we'll need to do is we will need to tie it in into two different directions. So we'll do, the idea would be, that we need to do that. And I'm thinking, so something like that could be all that we would need. Okay. And then what we'll do is we'll also do it over there. So you can go in and out using kind of that, right? And that gives us workers over there. Okay, and at the same time, that does give us a little bit of room on this side to then potentially get us our other items in here. So let's quickly just grab that. So we'll say then one of these processing plants, one of these and two of those, right? And we can actually bring that down. Okay, so what that means is we may be able to find a spot over here. But then this one needs it to be tied in directly. Okay, so maybe it's as simple as, yeah, we just need to understand that we may not have the ability to double up. So actually, let's flip it around. We'll do one here and flip it around again. So I want to be able to bring in two of these things, right? Yeah, I guess that's the one. Okay. So that gives us the option of two. That's okay. So that gives us the option of two of the uranium processing plants. Then we need one each over here. Okay, so we do need, so uranium oxide will be stored in an open storage, right? So if we go open storage, let's quickly have a look. Open storage does uranium oxide. Okay, good. So I guess a small open storage. Yeah, small open storage should just be fine. Okay, so if we did that, I just want to check. Can we get this to work? Oh, it's a little close. Okay. Hang on. We just need to. Oh, yeah. We need to offset it a little bit. Okay. Cancel that one. Right. I need to end this episode almost. So let's quickly grab this one. We'll do the copy point there. We want to make sure that we are actively allowing that entry point there. I guess that should be good enough. Okay. And then on this side, okay, hang on. But this may not have two access points on this side, right? Let's just have a look. If we grab that, yeah, we need both of them accessible. So it's the wrong tool for the job. So let's just grab ourselves open storages. What kind of open storages do we have? We've got this as an open storage option. And I guess that's okay, right? This is potentially the one we want. So if we were to do this, I think this is what I'm after. If I did that, right, can that work? Can we potentially make that work? So for some reason, it's still saying there's a building in the way. That's interesting. I'm going to do this one more time because if we can get this spacing right, if we can get this spacing right. I don't know if that'll work, but let's quickly have a look. It's too long. Okay, so it's not really wanting to get us there. Let's do that. If we cleared out this one, if we moved it a little bit further, right? Just try that one more time. Oh, we could actually do it this way. Yeah. So if we did that, we've got it nice and tight over there. Okay. Then it means we should also be able to do something like that. Okay. So that should be okay. Now from there, we want two of these guys as well. So let's do. Yeah, this is going to be tight. We did two of them. Like this. That's not going to work though, because we're not providing any access to the other side. Let's just quickly see from a length perspective if that'll work. No, that's too long. This one probably will. But yeah, so that is a little bit of a bummer. But here, I'm kind of wondering whether we need all of this, right? How much uranium oxide storage is there actually within these facilities? So we can store about 30 tons of uranium oxide, where these guys only use about 2 tons a day. So the extra storage becomes less critical. So maybe I'm thinking about this strategy all wrong. What we should be doing is we should be looking at it from the perspective of getting 1-to-1-to-1 the ratios going. So let's go 1. So we're coming in from over there, right? A little bit of luck, we can make that work, right? And then we can do potentially another run of them down here. So we'll do 2 runs. And then we'll do... Well, the issue is this one won't really work. How much does this actually output? Oh, very little. Very little. Okay, that's fine. Let's just forget about the issues we'll be facing with this and just trying to maximize the number of things we can actively generate here. Fine. So now we've got 2. And then what we'll need to do is now is like 4 nuclear fuel fabrications, which won't fit in here anyway. But I guess that will move to this side, right? So let's just, for the sake of it, say 1, 2, 3, 4, and we'll replan that. But the idea will be that we'll need to bring it across here with, and we don't have any. Well, that's our primary access point there. So we might move them all the way down here once we've got all of this kind of sorted out over here. We might see. We might just cross here and give them an access. But basically, that is the plan, right? So let's bring the road out. Okay. I'm going to do a little bit of this, right? And then we'll slowly start to move away a little bit like so. You know what? I'm kind of tempted to continue this road over there. And then the plan would be that here, we just do this and quickly grab ourselves that and I guess that, right? Take it back one more. Yeah, that's even better. Okay, so let's do that. We're not going to, pay for building all of that, but at least that gives us some level of road accessibility in here. Now, what we will want to do is we will want to do a little bit of an area here where we can actually provide some kind of aggregate storage. So if we go here, we grab storages, aggregate storage of some nature. I think this should be okay. 2000 might be 1000, 2000. Let's just go with 1000. Actually work quite nicely if we can make it work. Come on. Okay, so if I did that, right, could we get the road connection to work? I just want to check. I guess we can. Okay. And then what I also want to have a look at is whether we can make this work. Okay, so we've got one over there. And we've got one over there. That is beautiful. Now, what we don't have is the ability to aggregate just yet. So let's give ourselves one nice big aggregator over here. Okay, so if we were to say maybe something like that, then the plan would be that we try and push it from over there into some of these, right? Yeah, they don't want to do that. Okay. So can I then do... Can we potentially make this work? Okay, well, I think there's some options here. If we trim this back a little, right, and we dig this one down just a tad. Right, try and keep it a little bit lower. Okay, so maybe with a little bit of luck, that now gives us... It still doesn't really want to make that work, does it? Oh, it's not the height. It's purely just the distance. Okay, well, let's try. If we move it around a little, maybe we can make it work. These things are so finicky, guys. These things are so finicky. There we go. As simple as that. Now I just need to make sure we can actually get a road to do something here. It's beautiful. Well, let's do that so we show we've got some access here. Oh my goodness. And we... Yeah, that should be okay. Okay, beautiful. So that's fine. Let's not pay for it. Let's activate all of those. So at least this means that now we can store and we can actually get all of this stuff to go where it needs to go. So let's activate that for construction potentially. And let's just get the rest of our road networks out through here. In my mind, this is going to go across there like so. This guy is going to tie in over here. That's fine. This one, I think the plan needs to be. Something like that. Okay. And then of course what we can do is sign that over here, and we can add one more finishing touch out here, which will be a fire station. Let's grab just a fire station as well to just kind of close it out. So emergency services, 2 vehicles, 8 vehicles is too much. 4 vehicles is more. Actually, 2 vehicles is going to be fine. Well, actually, these are pretty pricey buildings and things. So maybe 4 vehicles is the way to go. 8 vehicles, 7 vehicles, 6 vehicles, 3 vehicles. Middle ground. We'll get the middle ground, and we'll get 3 vehicles to go out. So a fire station as well. Okay, so there we go. Let's activate a lot of these things for construction. And I guess that's where we're going to end the episode. It's been a longish episode. So hopefully our distribution is sorting itself out. Whoa, we had a big hit on the money. So I'll have another bit of a look as to why all of a sudden we've had a bit of a money hit. But anyway, the month of July turned out to be pretty good. But then the month of August has fallen back by the wayside. But I guess the starting point for our uranium mine and processing is pretty good. And I'm, kind of tempted that we'll just get another massive kind of nuclear power plant over here. And we'll build the extension of Vasistavi in over here. Plus, we will probably need to get yet another bridge connection to come across. So what is quite interesting is that we may just want to retweak this one here to probably go a little bit underground here. So we'll tunnel it through there, go underneath there, and then maybe we'll bridge across in that location, and that can then tie in over here, provide an extra kind of cut through so we don't have to go all the way over there. And that could kind of be the starting point in this location. What we will do from a rail perspective, I think for the time being, we'll just keep what is there. But we may, I mean, with all of this and all of this infrastructure in place, we could conceivably get an additional upgrade of this stuff and run it out into this direction as well. And we could tie it in somehow onto this network. But we'll have to do a little bit of planning and thinking for that. Yeah, so there's a lot that we could be doing in this area. Guys, so thank you so much for watching. If you've enjoyed it, please hit that like button. I will see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.